What's up, guys? Alright, I want to show you a new rifle sling that I made recently out of Paracord. It's pretty cool. I put it on my Gamo Silent Cat. Just kind of go over it real quick here, and then we'll discuss it. Okay, so essentially what I wanted to do with this was create a permanent sling. And by permanent, I mean it doesn't have clips or anything. It's tied on, so the only way to get it off would be to untie it or cut it off. And basically what I did was attached it first with 750 cord, which you can see is the beige cord here. And then I used a prusik knot on each end. This one I had to actually modify a little differently. Put a secondary piece of rope in there to keep it from coming undone. But what's kind of cool about that is on the Silent Cat, it's got a hole here in the stock, so it's got something to wrap around, whereas a traditional stock, there'd be nothing to attach the prusik to. So you'd need like a sling screw to drill in. But in this case, you don't need that. So I just kind of capitalized on the shape of the stock here. And the reason you want to do a prusik is because it's self-tightening, so the more effort and tension is pulled on it, the tighter it's going to get, so it's not going to slide off there. So up here, it's attached on there. And there's 6 pieces of rope, so like the end pieces, they get a little loose, but then you still have 4 solid pieces in the middle that are attached on there, so that's not going to come undone. And the reason I used 750 for the, I guess you call it the inner cord, is that's really strong cord, so that's not going to break no matter what. The rest of the sling, I used a lower quality paracord. It's 550 cord, but it's like the cheap stuff, so it's more for kind of aesthetics than having quality cord. But it's a little thinner, it's a little softer, so it kind of makes the sling a little more pliable in that respect. That's why I chose to use that. But going back to our inner cord, so we've used the 750, and all of the cord that I've used kind of blends in with the camouflage scheme. So we've got brown, beige, and green, or OD. And you can see I've got like a desert camo, beige, and then OD green paracords. So it all matches. So I've got this nice strong 750 cord to hold that on. And then I just did a Cobra Weave, probably 50 or 60 feet of cord all the way through the whole length of the sling. I did leave a little bit up here, gave myself about 1.5 inches, just so it doesn't get caught up when you're cocking it, and it's just got a little play there. So I thought that'd be prudent to give it a little extra room there. And then, so yeah, I did the Cobra Weave all the way through. And then right about the point where it's going to hang on your shoulder, if you're going to do if you're going to carry it with a muzzle down, I went ahead and did the King Cobra Weave, which just makes it a little bit thicker, a little wider. And the theory on that is to give it a little more shoulder padding. The only thing I'll say about that is because of how the King Cobra is, it kind of rounds it out a little bit, whereas the regular Cobra is flatter. So it doesn't actually stay on your shoulder all that well. If you have a t-shirt, if you had like a jacket or something, it would probably bite into the clothing a little bit better. But that's something to keep in mind. You might almost be better off with just a regular Cobra and that's it. But if you're going to do like a cross shoulder and not just hang it off one but sling it across your chest, you're going to be better off with this because it's not going to dig into your shoulder as much. So I had a kind of another theory or reason, I guess, for why I I set it up in this manner, aside from just the functionality of the sling. So everybody knows it's good to have paracord if you need it. I mean, if you're out hunting, who knows? Not that you're going to shoot like a deer or elk with a pellet gun, but you may need cordage for something. You may need to build a shelter. I don't know. What have you. But if you did need it, what you can basically do, starting out with the king cobra, which is the outer layer, the outermost layer, you can take that off. You just pop these two ends out, and they are melted, but they're not really like adhered to the rest of the rope. So you can kind of pry those off, pick them out. It'll come off. You've got a good at least 15 feet of paracord right there. So that would be like your first measure of obtaining paracord. That's not going to compromise the rifle at all. You'll still have your regular Cobra Weave. Like I said, it might even work better without the king cobra, so that's fine. So say you need even more cord than that. You need a lot of cord. So 15 feet was enough. You've got, like I said, another 50 or so feet in the rest of the Cobra Weave. So you can take that off, and again, the same thing. Just pop these two out, the whole thing will come undone all the way up. Took me a long time to put that, to make that, probably at least an hour and a half. So I wouldn't want to do that, but if you had to, you would have another 50 feet. That would leave you with just the 750 cord, and there's two inner strands of that, so it's just kind of like two loose cords without the wrap around the Cobra wrap. But that's still going to work it's going to work as a sling. It's just going to be two pieces of cord, but it's still going to work as a sling. So you've got two sections of paracord that you can gain access to and still have your rifle sling in an emergency, as opposed to, let's say like a belt or something made of paracord, and then once you need it, you got to take it apart, and then you don't have a belt anymore. This you can take apart and you still have a rifle sling. Obviously, push came to shove, you needed all of the cord. You could take the rest of the cord apart. You're probably going to need a knife to cut this knot loose. This one's over here is just tied, so once you get the other end undone, that'll just come right off. So push comes to shove, there's another, 12 feet there, and since it's 750 cord, it's got 11 inner strands instead of 7. So multiply that out. That's a lot more cordage if you need it, but that would be kind of your last resort to do that. Because even if you do come across, not even necessarily emergency, but you just need the cord, you can take off the Cobra and then put it back on later once you get home, if you're so inclined to take the time to do that again, and it's not going to screw anything up by doing it that way. You don't have to start over from scratch. You've still got your base cord there. So thought that was a pretty cool idea. It's just a nice sling with nothing but paracord. Don't need any mounts or screws or anything like that. And the cost is pretty cheap. Paracord's going for about $7-8 for a 100-foot hank of it. So this used maybe 50, 80 feet or something like that. So the total cost on this is probably like $6 or $7, whereas normal rifle sling plus your mounts, it could be easily over 20. So it's cheaper this way. I like it better. There's double use out of it. So that's all I got for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.